You thought the attack on Marley was something. Nope, that was nothing compared to the rumbling. Earth's attack on the world has begun. So what's up guys, Foxen here, Attack on Titan chapter 123. Oh yes, it's about time for the Claws of Titan rumbling to actually take off. It feels like Attack on Titan is about to end in a few chapters. Go ahead and create your own rumbling on that colossal thumbs up, and definitely flick the bell so YouTube sends you my videos. By the way, definitely consider becoming a Patreon supporter, especially if you love videos like this one. For Patreon supporters, I am live streaming on the weekends. We talk about stuff like Attack on Titan, Japan, other anime, and much more. Striptease not included. I might be doing a drunk show soon. Also, the end of Attack on Titan Part 2 is out. Definitely check that after this video. Anyway, getting into the actual chapter. So I freaking called it the Attack on Titan Vacation Flashback, which was actually something I predicted on the most recent livestream. The newest Attack on Titan chapter would start with a flashback. So I was wondering, who was talking here? There's been several times there's been Armin recalling some type of history. This time, could it have been Mikasa? Please, please, I hope for. At the bottom of this, you have everyone suited up. Eren right here was especially giving off this young Grisha vibe. But oh no, the feels are back. Or should I say Isayama opening up that potato wound. I'm betting for Sasha here, she was really just thinking about the new cuisine she was about to be able to feast on. By the way, a Levi not only cameo, the guy returns. You gotta love how Levi looks here absolutely dreadful. He's like, I did not sign up for this sightseeing crap. Anyway, just seeing the whole gang on the cruise, I was wondering where would they be heading first. Of course, the Asian clan's home country to meet up Kiyomi would be the first obvious guess. But nope, let's go ahead and pay Reiner a visit at Marley. Talk about living dangerously. It feels like this little visit could have been a huge possible risk for them. What's equally as interesting is to notice that Kiyomi had a place within Marley, although this does make sense for story reasons. One major one just being so Isayama could move Kiyomi around more easily when needed. But hold up, is that a freaking car? We must study it quickly. So you gotta love some of that Attack on Titan humor when it's not expected. And definitely let me know which was your favorite reaction. For me, by far, it was Hanji being Hanji. Hey car! Although I do think the part about the carrot was going a little too overboard. Bring it back, Isayama. As for Mikasa here, during the time skip, did she go back to being her overly protective self towards Eren? Could be, or perhaps just being cautious within enemy territory. Overall, it really is interesting to see the various mindsets here. For Mikasa, gotta stay alert. Armin, oh my god, this is like the best day ever. Eren, I'm dead inside. Recall back to the end of Attack on Titan Season 3, the other side of the sea. In other words, potential enemies for Eren. Yo Eren, are you hearing any voices? Getting any sudden flashbacks? As for Levi the Kid, alright Isayama, you got me with that one. Levi was about to break this clown in half. Come over here, you it clone. This kind of reminded me of that street performer from the Mikasa special. Talk about Mikasa smile, gotta protect that. It's not often that you see this rare Mikasa occurrence. Just one more thing to look forward in the anime for 2021. Then flipping it with Eren here. Damn dude, you just gotta bring the mood down. Oh, ice cream. I could actually recall that blonde slave who could never taste that sweet nectar. No tongue. On a serious note, Eren should be getting pretty constant memory recalls within Marley. For the single page here, I instantly noticed this little kid standing out. Keep in mind this was the same little kid with the fun hat who was in that Eren memory panel after Gabby went Terminator on his ass. Once again, Isayama just dropping the seeds and now blooming this Attack on Titan chapter. As for the little boy in question, did Sasha just get jacked? Sneaky little bastard. Although good thing the Ackerman was on guard. So right here, you heard the Marley people talk about this guy being this immigrant from this enemy nation. From the kid's look and his hat, it does resemble the soldiers that Marley were fighting during that battle post time skip. Notice that some of these guys were also in attendance at Willie's dinner party. It really feels like Isayama bringing up this theme of discrimination and hatred that still exists in this world, even if you remove the Eldian people. And my god, this kid, you really had this kid on trial by the public. This panel felt like it was a pretty obvious callback to little Ymir being blamed for fraying some bacon. From the crowd here, notice a piece of info dropped by Isayama. Supposedly not only Marley, but the rest of the world has been conducting some blood tests, although only fairly recently. Just gotta keep free of that devil blood. This does bring up an important question. How much is too much? Keep in mind Reiner being half Eldian from his mother's side. This guy was still allowed to go Titan mode, but how about lower than that? 1/4, 1/8, single digits? At which point is the devil Titan blood diluted enough? Recall that claim about the Eldian Empire supposedly conquering every country and the people in sight, then forcing them to bear their Eldian children. This info about that blood test should counter at least part of that claim. Anyway, Levi to the rescue again. But how did this kid repay his loyal savior? How in the world did Levi get jacked? In other words, somehow this kid flipping the situation. Notice Eren at this point. You know about Eren or some Attack on Titan shifter memory of this kid. You can see that Eren notices by this point. Gotta go ask this kid about a certain blonde. Next up, Kiyomi returns. So there has been a question about her role for the Attack on Titan endgame. It really feels like this chapter is fleshing out her a little bit more. One of the biggest contributions I thought she would contribute to the Attack on Titan story was just filling some of the holes regarding the current state of the world. On top of this, also bringing in some fairly recent human history going back a few hundred years. Right here, you're finding out something not too all that surprising. The Eldian Empire was once the top dog. Naturally, some of these other nations would see these Eldian people as those with high status, at least in public. Then as they lost the power, of course that situation flipped. Second key info drop, which is also not too surprising either. There's been some supporters for subject of Ymir. In other words, some non-Eldian people speaking out. So at least there were some people within Marley fighting the good fight. People outside of Kiyomi's group. As for Eren, where did this guy go? Just skipping out this important meeting. Whoops. Right here, you had Eren crying off in the distance. Really two possible reasons that stand out. The first one being related to that kid. Eren already has some future memories, so he knows what's going to happen to the kid. Or the second possibility about being in Marley in general, which would once again be linked to future memories. Right here, I might be overthinking this, but this line from Eren, did something happen? No, not yet. So let me ask you, future Eren, what have you been feeding this current Eren? Even more overthinking, but notice Mikasa's head here. This is most likely due to the low quality scan, but like 5% chance of this being this memory recall. One where Eren is simply imagining Mikasa being there, despite her not actually being there. Or who knows, perhaps Mikasa's just getting dusted. Oh, but what is this? An unexpected Mikasa Eren moment. Come on Isayama, you know what you're doing. This guy keeps on teasing the freaking fans. That includes lovers and haters for this Mikasa Eren couple alike. Oh, but denied. Freaking family zoned by Mikasa. I don't know if that's worse compared to actually being friend zoned. Combine this with the baby daddy for Historia still being unconfirmed. At this point, I'm definitely at the lower end of Attack on Titan fans concerned with possible endgame couples. At least for the romance side of things anyway. And oh yes, I freaking love this. All the Attack on Titan guys getting totally wasted. Come on, I'm hoping this is more than one still image for the season 4 anime. I'm really curious to see what will come out of Mikasa's mouth when she's drunk. You know, it's always the quiet ones. As for the stallion here, is that a Zeke reference? Also, was that Sasha giving booze to this kid? Holy crap. What a way to finish this too, Eren at the very end. Very subtle smile? This feels like it was the last final happy moment with the rest of the group for this guy. Anyway, the next day, what a way for Isayama to crush their hopes and dreams. The harsh reality. Their supposed support group only cares about the subject of Ymir on the mainland. Once again, really just using the devils on the island as scapegoats. Nobody's for Hanji, Levi, or anyone else here. So this is probably one of the biggest reveals and confirmations from the chapter, that this was a moment, the last straw for Eren, his breaking point. Oh, so you guys want to eradicate us from the world. Alright, I see you. Let the attack on Marley commence. So at this point in the chapter, confirming Mikasa's thoughts. Right here, you got Mikasa talking about possibly going down a different path. Ooh, getting part 2 vibes. This also feels like it's subtly tying back to her Ackerman side of things. On a different note, we should think about this. What would have happened had Mikasa confessed her non-family feelings towards Eren on that night? Could you imagine them getting drunk, then rubbing body parts together later that night? I'm sure some artists will draw that timeline. By the way, weren't Armin and Mikasa fighting that Titan on the wall a moment ago? They've now teleported to the rooftop in the middle of the district. These guys are quick. Anyway, officially back to the present day, let the rumbling commence. But what the hell is that Titan in the middle? It looks like a freaking dino skeleton. Eren, is that you? Looks like the dinosaurs from the Attack on Titan Season 2 opening weren't just a joke. The Rod 120-meter Titan would be jealous. And nearby you can see all the Colossal Titans being all free. Look forward to seeing them in CG in 2021. Then, for the horrified looking Armin here, Eren's on our side, right? Gotta love how his dreadful face totally gives his confidence in Eren away. So yes, the rumbling just got a whole lot bigger. Some would say gigantic. Up until the very last moment, Armin really was in denial. He naively thought Eren would free only the Colossal Titans in the district. But come on, you gotta make this more fun. How about all of them? While Maria, while Cena, while Rose. By the power of my Titan Wi-Fi, come out. And talking about that power, getting into Eren using the Titan Force. Let me just tell all of you what the hell is going on. So you got Eren using the Founding Titan for the first Eldian Skype call. Do notice the Ackerman included in this. Most likely Levi too, somewhere in the distance. I do wonder whether Isayama did this only visually just to emphasize Eren using the Founding Titan power. Or did all the Eldians actually receive this in like a split second, Eren's message? By the way, the low quality scan of this really made it seem like they were on the freaking moon. Do notice Falco kissing the ground in the background. The guy is a-okay. For the shot showing everyone, could this have been pregnant Historia over here? It is from the side, she could have been hiding her baby bump. Maybe, or maybe not. By the way, definitely don't forget about blonde girl Annie. I'm really betting that not only Annie was in the Titan realm to hear the message, but Annie finally also got this as his Titan alarm wake-up call. Time to get up, Sleeping Beauty. Then, the very end. A couple major things here. Looks like Eren's Titan face and whole body, I'm assuming, has been updated. Presumably, this should have been the Founding Titan. Something more resembling the original Ymir Titan. Most likely this mix between the Founding Titan, the Attack Titan, and the WarHammer Titan. Second major thing, which might be more important, the actual message. It really doesn't make that much sense at all. Eren now claims that he wants to exterminate the world using the Colossal Titan parade. Literally Eren now becoming this devil figure. So let's think about this. If you actually take Eren at face value, everything not including Paradise Island would be killed off, just resetting the world. Except for this, you have several issues. This would be Eren giving a huge middle finger to the Eldians and part Eldians around the world. And 2, a middle finger with the other hand to the people that were enemies of Marley, as well as anyone that supported Eldia. This includes Kiyomi's nation and whatever group Yelena and Yoyakopon are a part of. So, now let me toss it to you. Does anyone really buy this from Eren? It really feels like this is either an obvious lie from Eren, or whatever Eren is claiming here has this double meaning. For this, I do want to confirm from the Japanese text. Either way, Attack on Titan is officially at the endgame. Looks like the Attack on Titan story ending by chapter 130 isn't too far-fetched. I'm betting next chapter you're gonna hear Armin screaming out to Eren. In other words, that final Attack on Titan audio clip. So post down below, which Attack on Titan endgame do you want to see? Does anyone actually want to see Eren cleaning the world via the Colossal Titans? Should Eren reconsider sacrificing himself now that he's come this far? Is there anyone out there that could even stop Eren? Definitely share your thoughts down below. By the way, really quickly, coming up this weekend as a ReZero will be a special, the second one. This is the Emilia Focus one. My video is going to be non-spoiler, so definitely tune in for that. For Attack on Titan stuff, a mysterious Attack on Titan video next week. For SAO fans, definitely check out my recent video ranking the best SAO finds. Anyway, go ahead and post your Attack on Titan endgame thoughts down below. How do you want this story to finally conclude? Go ahead and watch my video on how Eren ends Attack on Titan Part 2. In whatever way the story ends, I do think a good chunk of people are not gonna be happy. So go ahead and check part 2 out, and I'll see you guys later.